Hello everyone and welcome back to NCAA 2004 in the Alabama Crimson Tide Dynasty mode, where we are once again playing Tennessee for the second time this season. I mentioned in the last video that it's been a while since we had a back-to-back with the Tennessee game being showcased, or just, playing Tennessee twice in the season in general, and it's fitting that in one of the last seasons of this series we are going to do it again. So we are facing Tennessee in the SEC Championship game, as the Volunteers are really the only team out of the East that's kind of been running things, or I guess I didn't look at their schedule, like I didn't go through it. I probably should have, but at 11-1, I can assume the games that they won and the games that they lost. They only lost to us, and so that means they beat out Vanderbilt and they beat out South Carolina to win out of the East. So good on them. Good on them. That's kind of where it's come down to. It's a three-horse race in the Eastern Division between those three teams, but both Vanderbilt and Tennessee have kind of been just struggling to be consistently good. They kind of each put a decent season together every couple of years now, and South Carolina is the only team that just consistently is winning all the time, but they just keep choking away the big games, so they can't get out of the big games. They did manage to beat Arkansas, which helps them out, but since that's not a team in their division, it doesn't really matter. It helps us out. It helps us out tremendously, but we didn't need the help as we went 12-0 this season. So we have some more updated stats, of course, for Tennessee and, of course, ourselves. As we see Garrett Handy here, he's encroaching on 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. So another great quarterback season in Tuscaloosa with Garrett Handy here, and it's just so nice and refreshing to have a starting quarterback that we can just kind of throw in there to start for us and just kind of rely on him putting up those kinds of numbers. That's exactly what we're looking for in a starting quarterback. So next year, who knows? We have no idea, but this year it's really nice. So Tennessee here already across midfield late in the first quarter, very late in the first quarter. Neither offense really getting much of anything going in the first frame of this game, but finally Tennessee is starting to get a little bit of action here. Jason Parks, the top receiver here or for the Volunteers, gets a catch here to start off this game, and now the end of this drive will have to be resolved after the first quarter ends. So 2nd and 9 for Tennessee. Here's their inside our 25-yard line, and Cummings just collapsing in pocket, had to get rid of it quickly, and he manages to find an open target. And there you see here, man, our offense has done absolutely nothing in the first quarter of this game, and Tennessee's really been the only team to drive up and down the field and just not really find the end zone. So 1st and goal, it's a long goal-to-go situation. Cummings, plenty of time to throw here, and he finds an open target in the end zone, and Tennessee will strike first. So they didn't score until the 4th quarter in the 3rd Saturday in October in a rivalry game, but they managed to score first here in Atlanta, and that's really all that matters, man. As long as they win this game, that's all that matters. So we don't know. We got a lot more football to play here, but Tennessee is still finding ways to move the football through the air and on the ground. LaTroy Cummings already off to a great start in this game, and again, I mentioned in the last video, he was having a decent season. He wasn't really having a terrible season. He doesn't throw for a ton of yards, but he's protected the football this season, which is something he struggled with in his entire career up to this point as quarterback for the Volunteers, which again has been all 3 seasons that he's been at Tennessee. So he has just been the Volunteers guy, man. He's just been it. And Jason Parks is Tennessee's guy. He's just doing everything for them receiving-wise right now. They spread it out a little bit, but on 3rd and 10 now, the Crimson Tide defense encroaching on Cummings here, and he has to get rid of it quickly, and that pass nearly intercepted. It hits one of our linebackers directly in the numbers, but still there was an opportunity for Tavares Bernard to have a chance to catch it here, that receiver for Tennessee. But now Volunteers are going to have to rely on special teams here. The kick is good as we were in a dome, and I'm sure Tennessee's very happy about that, as they're going to take a 10-0 lead here over your Crimson Tide, man. So we're in this game now late in the 2nd quarter, and Tennessee, again, moving on offense. So our offense still just completely MIA, just nothing to speak of at all, and Jason Parks, surrounded by defenders, still manages to come down with the football as LaTroy Cummings, and yeah, Theo Thornton's very, very upset about it, obviously, because as a safety, that probably would have been his situation to try and resolve, but somehow LaTroy Cummings is able to get that football to Parks. Yeah, look at that, just on an island. It looks like Theo Thornton was playing it a little bit soft, probably could have came up and played a little bit more aggressive, made a play on the football, but it's okay. So 3rd and inches now we're going to fast forward to, and it looks like, I don't know, he fell pretty far forward. Quentin Stewart fell pretty far forward, but it looks like they're going to mark him short, judging by the celebration here from our linebacker here. From the celebration from Bam Price, it looks like they're going to be short. So on 4th down, Tennessee keeping the offense on the field here, and we were able to break that pass up. I couldn't see who it was, whether it was Lance Hunt or somebody else, but That pass is broken up and it's turnover on downs. And now we are on offense here. But on 3rd and 23, we were just moving the wrong direction. Just a minute left to go in the first half. And that pass is completed. And so finally, man, you saw 3rd and 23. You saw clearly things have not been going well. We have not been protecting Garrett Handy all that well either. But finally, Evan Jacobs or someone managed to make that catch. And now it's 2nd and 7, just under a minute left to go. And that ball's floated up. And it looked like a miscommunication, man. I don't know. You could see, I think it was Evan Jacobs who just stopped in his tracks. I think maybe Garrett Handy thought he was going to keep going. I don't know. It clearly looked like a miscommunication. That ball was just airmailed into a Tennessee defender's hands, and Tennessee would just basically run out the clock, and that would be the end of the first half. So your Crimson Tide have been shut out in 2 quarters in the SC Championship. So we gotta kick it into high gear here. So Handy understands the assignment here, quickly releases and gets one off for a completion. That's going to get us around midfield here and already get us into some scoring situation, okay, just past midfield. So 1st and 10, and once again, Handy's going to throw it again. Tennessee is sending blitz, but Handy gets rid of it in time. Evan Jacobs bumping off a defender. Now he's in open space, off to the races inside the 10 and into the end zone for the first Alabama touchdown of this championship game here. And it's about time that we finally checked in here stat-wise, but we're going to need a little bit more momentum here. We're going to need to see something on defense as well, as our defense has already kept us in this game, but we need to see us stop here, and we need to get that football back and manage to take the lead somehow, if at all possible. Evan Jacobs, again, not a huge usage guy here. That's only his 3rd touchdown of the season, but it comes at a very timely manner. So 2nd and 16 for Tennessee here, back deep in their own end, and LaTroy Cummings is going to find another Crimson Tide defender, or find just a Crimson Tide defender, and that's going to be an interception. There you see LaTroy Cummings, after a great start to this game here through the 2nd quarter and most of the 3rd quarter, he's kind of already barked off of that, and is kind of having a bit of a tough game here, as it looks like Theo Thornton gets his revenge from earlier in the game, and finally makes LaTroy Cummings pay for an errant pass, as that pass is going to be intercepted. And now we're going to get a prime opportunity here, right at about the red zone. I don't think we're inside of it, or now we are. We're going to fast forward to a 3rd and inches, and Handy's going to hand this one off to Frederick, the fullback, and Frederick, I keep between fullback and Frederick. The fullback, Frederick, manages to spin move and juke his way into open space and get into the end zone for another Alabama touchdown. And now we have firmly not only clawed our way back into this game, but we have also managed to take the lead. We're finally leading in this game now. So with a 4-point lead here late in the 3rd, we are back on offense, as Tennessee's offense is starting to stall out a little bit in the 2nd half. And we've seen that in real life before, where, you know, the better team just kind of struggles through the first couple quarters, and then the other team just does not have the endurance to maintain the lead and maintain that same level of play, so the better team ends up just coming out anyway. But still lots of football left to be played, and it's still only a 4-point game, but Garrett Handy is moving the Elephants down the field here, as another completion is made at about the 10-yard line. It looks like that's where they're going to spot it, and it's Jeff Dillard, the tight end, with the completion. So good on him, and now it's going to be 1st and goal from that 10-yard line here. It's a long goal to go. Handy back to pass. Pressure is on, and it's going to get stripped from behind, and Tennessee's going to land on top of it, and it's a strip sack. So we did so well driving down the field here, looking to maybe extend our lead to multiple possessions, and Tennessee perfectly gets some pressure off of the edge. Looks like a cornerback blitz they sent. It just got home to Handy. He never saw him there, never saw him coming, and just got strip sacked perfectly. So now Tennessee heading the other way here. LaTroy Cummings all day to throw. A prayer of a football, and that pass is going to be completed to Traveris Bernard inside, it looks like the 5-yard line, or inside the 10 at least. And now Tennessee not only flipping the results here of that previous drive, but now they're looking to maybe take the lead potentially, as it's going to be 1st and goal in Tennessee now. LaTroy Cummings back to pass here, and that pass is going to be intercepted in the end zone. We're going to see if we can take a look here and exactly who it was, but And that is a beautiful interception that we see here. And it's one of our backup linebackers, or one of the other ones in a different package that we use. But the third quarter is going to come to a close. So now both teams driving the whole length of the field here and managing to turn the ball over. So who wants it more, basically, at this point? And Frederick getting himself into open space inside the 20 here. A huge pickup for the fullback, but there is a flag on the field, so we're going to have to look at this one here. Hopefully this one will stand. We're not entirely sure. And no, it is a holding call, and that one's going to come back. So unfortunately here, we're looking at 1st and 10 at the 11, and this one's now going to be a 3rd and 9, pushed us back closer to midfield. So tough decision here for Sicknaben. He's very much not happy about it, as those kind of penalties really kind of torpedo a drive. But now it's going to be 3rd and 10, just inside the 45 of Tennessee, and Handy back to pass here, and he floats this one out, and that pass is going to be caught and completed inside the 5, and now we have a new little chance here, a new little lease on life following that unfortunate penalty, and Chip Milligan manages to get the catch here And now it's going to be 2nd and 1 just inside the 5. Handy's going to hand this one off to Moultrie, and Moultrie's going to get spun out. And they're going to say he broke the plane with the football. I'm not going to argue them and contest them, but it looked a little sketchy. I don't know. We've seen that a lot in this game, but they're going to say that we got it. So 21-10 now the score here. With 3 minutes, Tennessee's got plenty of time to catch back up in this game here if they want. But that ball's going to get tipped around, and somehow Bernard's going to come down with it. That pass was completely batted around between 2 Crimson Tide defenders, but somehow it is Bernard who comes down with it. I have no idea how, but he managed to do it. So 1st and 10, Tennessee running with some tempo here, as they still have plenty of time, but they of course need to score twice to get back into this ball game. And that pass is now tipped around. That's Lance Hunt who managed to get his hands on it, and that one falls safely to the ground. And so Tennessee gets another chance. So 2nd and 10 now. Inside the 25, Cummings back to pass. The pass rush is picked up beautifully by Tennessee's offensive line, and that gives them plenty of time to get a completion here. But there is a flag on the field. Now we're going to look at it, and it's going to be a face mask, unfortunately. So very, very unfortunate series of events. It's Ashanti Gray, the sophomore cornerback, gets a little bit too much of the face mask, and that is going to give Tennessee another few yards on this drive. So fast forward to a 3rd and goal at about the 6-yard line. Pressure's coming off the edge, but it's picked up, and Cummings is able to get rid of it. He's able to avoid it, step up in the pocket, and release a good throw to the middle of the field here, and that's going to be another Tennessee score. As is it Bernard again? Don't tell me it was Travaris Bernard. And it is, man. He has just been an absolute menace. So Jason Parks was really kind of the thing that Tennessee was relying on early in this game, and now it's just completely shifted to Travaris Bernard, who I think has more yardage on the season at least, but I think the touchdowns goes to Parks. I'm not entirely sure, but Tennessee goes for the 2-point conversion, and they do manage to convert it, as it looks like Hatfield, the tight end, they were able to hit. I'm not entirely sure, but or no, it's not. It's a different receiver, or backup tight end, I believe. So 21-18 is the score here, but with under 2 minutes now to go, Tennessee's already burnt some timeouts, and Moultrie's going to get the first down, and that is going to be victory formation for your Crimson Tide. So I wish it was a little bit more of a back and forth here, but we got the ball back with like 2 minutes and change, and we were able to kind of kill out a timeout or so of Tennessee before we even got to the final 2 minutes, which I don't think there's a 2-minute warning in this game anyway, but either way, they were unable to stop us, and Tremaine Moultrie was able to get the first down and officially ice this game. Officially ice it. So Tennessee would blow through the rest of their timeouts. I don't even know if they would use the final 2 timeouts that they had. They would just kind of let it go, as they couldn't stop the clock anyway, and we were able to drive it all the way down. I think we even got 1 or 2 more first downs. So with running the football, as you can see, Tennessee was really not able to do it. So we talked about Quentin Stewart in the last video. He had over 12 touchdowns. He enters into this game with 13 of them and over 1,200 yards. And our defense completely silenced him. And so that was probably the huge difference maker, the huge deciding factor for Tennessee in this game, as they were unable to run the football effectively. And Garrett Handy here, kind of a mixed bag of a game here, only 1 touchdown to just 1 interception. Completion percentage down a little bit as well. You don't like to see that kind of stuff either, but he did manage to get us the win. So that's, the kind of important thing with your quarterback. Can you still get the win? Can you win us a game? And he managed to do it. So nothing really all that dazzling from the receiving corps either statistically, but again, we still managed to get the win. It wasn't a pretty one, but we managed to do it. And Chip Milligan now gets Receiver of the Year. Remember last year in his sophomore season, Ben Medley managed to win it. And now this year we have Chip Milligan. So we have back-to-back Receiver of the Years on our roster right now, as we are looking to make a push towards the national title game. And Garrett Handy wins Quarterback of the Year. So we have back-to-back Quarterbacks of the Year, as Cal Lumpkin managed to win it in his senior season. And now Garrett Handy, the following year in his senior season, manages to win the award again. And that's like our 6th or 7th Quarterback of the Year, I think. I think we've had that trophy, 6 or 7 times. Again, we're going to look through the trophy case at the end of the series, but I believe that's about our 6th or 7th time winning that trophy. So, and of course, we win another SEC title. And here's your Heisman votes. Garrett Handy actually received some votes. He finished 3rd, but definitely not close enough. So I guess, no one was really getting the looks here on the Crimson Tide offense, unfortunately, but either way. So we get a bid to play the Fiesta Bowl. So we haven't played in the Fiesta Bowl since we lost to Texas in the Fiesta Bowl in our first national title game back in year 3 or 4. And so we're finally heading back to the Fiesta Bowl, and we're going to be meeting the Trojans there. So the 3rd-ranked Trojans, they hop over TCU in the BCS rankings, and I'm sure TCU fans are very much not happy about it, as they're just desperate for all that winning to lead to a national title game. They haven't lost a game in 2 years either, by the way. They have not lost a game, and they've just not gotten the benefit of the doubt whatsoever from the BCS computer. But that's what you get when you play in the Conference USA, man. What can I say? So that's on you guys, not us. But either way, hope to see you guys in the Fiesta Bowl, man, when we play the Trojans and try and go back-to-back, maybe, and win Natty number 6.